This is the plaintiff, Paul Mendez. He says he was driving on Halloween night last year and the impatient defendant tried to pass him. And as she was cutting him off, she misjudged the turn and sideswiped his car. She then tried to speed off. He called 911, and when she finally stopped, she got out of her car and started banging on his window violently. Her boyfriend was arrested. He comes to find out the plaintiff has no collision insurance, and he's suing her for the $2,073 he's owed. This is the defendant, Stephanie. She says the plaintiff was the one who cut her off, and back and forth they went until he hit her car. She thinks he was drunk because he was acting like a complete jerk. Bottom line, she doesn't know the plaintiff because he was the one who caused the accident. End of story. She's accused of cracking up.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant tried cutting him off, smashed into him, and took off. But the defendant says the plaintiff did the cutting off, and she thinks he was drunk. It's the case of it's all in the road rage.
Thank you, Douglas. Paul Mendez.
Yes.
You are suing Stephanie. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name for $2,073 that you say she owes you for a car crash.
That is correct.
All right. Where were you driving?
So it was in New Jersey, down in Lindentown, and I was on the South Park Avenue.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you come up and show me with the cars that are there? Just pick a car to be you. Wait until you get there to start talking.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay. So this is South Park Avenue right here. And this is.
You don't need a pen. You need a magnetic card. Don't mess up my art.
All right.
All right. Just like orient yourself based on what's there.
So this is my vehicle right here. The defendant was directly behind me.
Right. And is there a red light?
It's a red light. Yes.
Okay. But you have not advanced fast enough when it turns green.
When it turned green.
Right.
Went around. Went on the left-hand turn side only.
Right.
And then.
All right, so your car moving or isn't it? Because the car doesn't turn.
Yes, no,
okay, I need you to focus because you're taking a car and going like that, and cars don't do that. So the whole point of this exercise is for you to tell me how the accident happened. So I'm going to need you to go slower and then tell me the light changes. Are you moving?
Not yet. I'm not moving.
So you haven't moved at all?
I haven't moved
And
yet.
then this car does what? Goes around you?
Goes around. Then I start moving.
Then you start moving.
And this is when the collision happens.
Because that car doesn't expect you to have moved at all? They were trying to cut in front of you?
I believe so.
Okay. Now, had you had any contact with that car before that moment?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of. Okay. So that's the first time that you noticed the car when it hits you?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and go back. Now, Stephanie, can you tell me what you say happened?
I was going straight coming up 1 and 9, and as I was driving, he kept cutting. He came out of nowhere and cut me off.
Okay.
So I went around him.
To do what?
To go to follow
cut
a
him
friend.
off?
Yes,
Show him who's boss?
No, I was following a friend to the movies.
Okay.
And he cut me off. So what I did was went around him, and every time I would go around.
Wait, when you say you went around him and then cut him off, right?
No.
Okay, let's phrase it a different way. You went around him and got in front of him again.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Then he tried to go around me again, like he
and
was
get in
playing
front
the
of
game.
you again.
Yes.
And did it happen? Did he get in front of you again?
Yes.
And then you went around him and tried to get in front of him again.
Because I was trying to follow a friend because he kept speeding up.
Okay, so then you went around him and tried to get in front of him again. Did you get in front of him?
No, I didn't get a chance because he sped up and then hit the side, made me hit the side of his car.
So how many times were the two of you playing Quien es más macho?
So who are the ruder drivers, men or women?
Men.
You say that angrily.
Men.
You think so? Why?
Because, well, I've been in a couple of car accidents, and it have been with men, and they had no driver's license, jumped out the car, and...
Fair point. Okay. What do you say?
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be women are the ruder drivers here.
Because?
I don't know. I've just had bad experiences with women.
Are you talking just on the road?
Just on the road.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
How many times did this happen?
Maybe like 3 times.
Okay. Why would somebody say that if it didn't happen? Because it doesn't make them look good. It's like basically they're admitting that they and you were up to no good.
I understand.
They and you were exhibiting a little road rage.
I understand.
So why would she say that if you had never cut in front, she cut in front and you cut in front? And there is no reason why she'd say that. And then my question to you is, why would you not admit it?
Your Honor, this was all in the red light. Like, we were on a red light. All the other cars are stopped. There was no way for me to go in front of her.
Are you still denying that you guys were doing this?
Yes.
Before the red light. Obviously, that's not when people are stopped. It's before you get to the red light. Are you still denying?
I don't remember ever this happening.
One would remember.
Before.
One would remember. That's not how this stuff works. People remember. They remember because their blood pressure starts to boil, because they get angry. People remember. All right, so now when she hits you, what's your first move?
My first move is to call 911 and ask her to pull over.
Ask her to pull over?
Yes, so we could exchange insurance.
Wait. How do you ask her to, was her car stopped?
I lowered the window, and I started making a motion for her to
pull
turn.
over?
Yes, to pull over. She was already on the left-hand turn only.
Okay.
So there was an actual gas station on that side.
Okay.
And I was pointing to pull over there so we can exchange information.
Okay.
At that moment, she got out of the car and ran towards mine and starts banging on my window.
And what happens?
Then the police arrived. They told her to get away. They told her
to get away? So the police saw her banging on your car?
Yes, they told her to get away.
Is that in a police report?
Pardon?
Is that in a police report?
It is not in the police report, no.
Okay, can I see the police report?
Of course.
Okay, so go on.
Okay. At that moment, the gentleman there started making threats.
How?
Just saying, "Oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to beat you up."
In front of the police?
In front of the police. At that moment, the police officer said if he continues with that actions, he's going to arrest him.
Did you get arrested?
Never got arrested.
No, he was not arrested.
You got put in a police car?
No.
Yeah, he was not arrested. He was not put in a police car. The officer said if you continue with that action, you would be. At that moment, she started telling him to calm down.
Did the police tell you that?
No.
Were you screaming?
Yeah. Well, I was telling the guy, like, yo, it was your fault, man. We gotta, like, do something about this. It wasn't her fault. I'm here.
How was it not your fault if you were in the left-hand turn lane and you were going around him again?
Because the way she was driving, I thought
yeah, but how are you in the left-hand turn lane when the hit happens? You're supposed to turn left if you're in the left-hand turn lane.
It wasn't no stop.
I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to you.
Yes.
Right, what's your answer to that?
Well, I was trying to go around because he just kept cutting me off. And
no, I get it.
Yes, I was trying to go around him. And when I made it to go around him, that's when he sped up. Like, it's like he was waiting for me to move so that he could hit the side of my car. Like, so I could hit the side of his car.
All right. But in the end, you are in a left-hand turning lane, and instead of turning left, you're trying to go around and get in front of the car there because the car's been chicken necking with you. I believe you on that. I believe you that there's this. I believe you. Right. But when you're trying to do that, you understand that you are in a left turn lane and then you're going into, so you can't do it without, you can't do it, period. You're supposed to turn left.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me see the damage to the cars. Do you have damage to your car?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. Nothing. Not a scratch. Not a.
When the contact happens, did you feel it?
No, I didn't really feel it.
How do you not feel it?
I
You
felt
gotta
it's like
feel
a little
steel on steel.
It was like a little bump. It wasn't.
You had to feel it though.
It wasn't a hard impact. It was.
Show me the pictures of your car. I mean, that's a hard impact that I'm looking at there. That is a hard impact. Don't tell me that's not a hard impact. That's not believable. Look at that. That's a pretty hard impact. How many estimates do you have?
2.
Let me see both estimates. What happens if I believe her when she says everybody was playing Canis Mas Macho here? What happens if I believe that? If I believe that there's this and a little bit of that, what happens?
If the accident would have occurred not in the section where it's left-hand turn only, it would have been partial fault of both parties.
You're a little too slick for my taste.
I'm sorry.
Because what he just said now is kind of true. The problem is that when the impact happens, it's only your fault. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're in the left turn only lane. But you ain't getting any diminished value because I don't feel like it.
I understand, Your Honor.
I believe that there's some culpability on your part. I think you're lying to me when you say the first time you met her was at that moment. I believe them when they say that there was this. It's just that when the impact happens, it's not his fault. He is in a straight going lane and he's allowed to go. The person who causes the impact is the person who feels like, he kept cutting me off, so I was going to cut him. You can't, not from the left turning lane. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of the $1,673.41.
Thank you, Your
Your
Honor.
diminished value is up to me, and I don't, under these circumstances, feel that it's justified.
I understand.
So the plaintiff prevails in this lawsuit, Mr. Stephanie. Obviously, the judge pointed out you're in the wrong here, no question about it. I had heard you were arrested, but that didn't happen, right?
No.
At all. Okay. What do you have to say?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nope.
Nope. You agree you're guilty?
No, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. You're absolutely all right. Sorry about that. You're going to have to make the payment on it the wrong way, that way. Doors that way. All right, Mr. Mendez. You know, it's interesting you won, but the judge flat out said she doesn't believe you.
I understand. There's two sides to every case, and she believed their side when it came to the back and forth.
Yeah. And you claim it didn't happen?
I claim it didn't happen. I stand by it.
All right, very good.
You do.
Well, you won anyway, so congratulations. Okay, thank you very much. Harvey?
You know, by the way, if you start cutting people off on the road and somebody gets in a bad accident and they die, you can be prosecuted for manslaughter.